Yo, 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 what is going on, CoD Familia? It is your boy BN, aka Mr. Kingdom Builder, and we are here about to watch, who knows how long this is going to last, but it might be somewhat exciting. This is SS2-6, which is the, oh gosh, hang on, I just actually had this listed up. This is where we ended up having TPD, DoRA, FTW2, RR going up against SS50, ROE, NTS, ROA, ROZ. For most of you that know, when we covered this, it was a pretty quick defeat on the dueling side of TPD, DoRA, FTW, and RR. And so now, if you're kind of looking at the landscape for how things are at the moment, you can see that DoRA has that. You see SS50 has captured this one. This is on the more Brez side. So there's a little bit of action going on here at the pass, along with here between FTW, which is also grouped with DoRA. And then you can see here we have ROZ, RR that still has this held. And then ROE that took this. And then we have on the red, I think that's NTS there. But again, we're watching this Spire potential fight that you can see here, which is a mix of, I think it's ROE and NTS from when we last checked on it. And they're basically pushing here to get some action on the TPD territory. And again, this is going to be pretty cool. It's TPD and DoRA, so we're probably going to get a little fight that's going on. Now, this is their second run. Again, I didn't have a chance to look at the first one, which I think Hellrider was the one who had let me know about. And then there was one other person too as well. Again, I always got to give some love here when I hear about it. And that was from, someone named V. I don't know what the full name is, probably because I have my thing on. But yeah. Again, I ended up getting 2 pings on this. And hopefully this could be a fun second run. I imagine that they still got people that are coming in, so I don't think there's really a rush at the moment. Ooh, smart play, though, here from TPD to try to cut off the supply line, even though, let's be honest, that was only one person. No one else is really running at this point. So, I mean, listen, man, take your tiny wins and victories where you can get them. I'm not mad at it. But okay. So yeah, we're probably going to wait for, looks like Taj and Bahi to catch up here. Oh, never mind. Maybe they'll end up going. Oh, no, they're just removing some Darklings here. Okay. So yeah, we're going to get some action going on here shortly. I'm pretty excited just to see what ends up happening. They told me that I think they're about to go. So like I said, I don't think they're going to be waiting too much longer because as I was mentioning, it's really just those 4 legions that are playing catch up. And then I don't know what that it looks like he's like, man, this is my time to shine. I'm gonna come out and attack the last person in the army. He's like, I mean, you got to think about it, like he just waited there and was like, okay, I'm gonna wait to attack the very last one, right? Because I don't want to get wrecked by that group, which again is the smart play. If you can kill, I don't know if the unit ended up dying. Like they still had some health left, but yeah, no, that was pretty good. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna have to, I might do a separate video on this other thing too as well. Very interesting, some of this stuff here. Yeah, I'm talking about the TFSFS video that came out, which is pretty funny. And I don't know if this is a thing which to me, it just sounds like a good business model if it is or if it's not. And basically where you can like pay people to do like internet shout outs for you, so to speak. And I don't know if you guys have seen the video yet, but it's with, no, it is funny. Yeah. It's basically, it's a group of black guys and they're in the backyard or somewhere. I have no idea where it is. But they're all fit, they're all in shape, they're all basically in swimwear for the most part. And they have a sign that says, like, shout out to TFS and FS, congratulations on your win, but they're doing, like, dance music. It's actually a really dope idea when you think about it, where it's like, okay, you're just going to pay these people that maybe have a following or maybe well-known or maybe they just do that. And it's just, like, internet shout-outs that you can use as, like, GIFs or intros or whatever it may be. But it's just interesting for like me to see one. Yeah. Yeah, we might show it later. All right. Okay, dude, they are ready. Are we going? What is happening? You guys can do it. Ooh, this is the thing, man. The longer they wait, the longer they give for like their opponents to set up. Now, let's talk some strategy here. How are they going to play this out? My view on this one is, and again, there's not like a lot of areas they can go from. They could come down here and go north. That could be something. However, to me, I think probably the better play, I don't know if I'd say better play. Let's just talk about one entry approach here. I think one entry approach is they work their way in between. So when they come up, they should, and let me see if I can zoom out a little bit here. Okay, so let's do this. They're here. They have opponents that are here, and then a few that are here on the keep, and then there was some up here, right? A little bit. So if we're talking, how are they going to approach this? I personally think it should look something like this. They should come up here and then split like that. And then have another group that comes up here and splits as well. Or maybe not split that much, maybe a little bit. Like you want to force the flyers to come over. And then the idea should be, let's attack the turrets one by one. So this is 1, this would be 2, this would be 3, this would be 4, this would be 5, right? And you start systematically taking them down one by one. And then you hit, and then eventually you'll hit the keep and the players here. Once you remove the turrets and any of the keeps that are building, and then obviously the secondary focus is, okay, let's focus on the PvP units. So if the PvP units come in range, then we'll attack them. Otherwise, let's focus on structure removal. That to me, I think, is the play. Now, we'll see if they decide for that. It actually looks like and the other benefit to that is that you're spreading out the entire way. So it is something that gives you more width and more spread when you're attacking your opponent's side. And it also allows you to hit multiple turrets at the same time. So that's something I would like to see them do, is spreading out here, basically burning down the turrets one by one, but doing it where you're attacking 4, 5, or 6 at a time, if not more, right? Because when you're in this range here, you're just all funneling in. Like, this is a very kind of thin lane that you're operating in now. You want to be wider spread than this. So this, again, a little bit of a missed opportunity here from NTS ROE. Again, and the other thing is, like, the farther you're away from the bridge, you're forcing them to have to come out as well, right? And it doesn't look like they're giving you that indication. Also, if I was them, I would not rush into the bridge and like take all that unnecessary damage. Again, put a secondary group here and then have them push over here and just attack the flyers one by one. Don't take all that unnecessary DPS. But again, work your way up, remove all of the turrets, and then once you have the turrets removed, right, again, while you should be having a secondary force focusing on the flyers, that would be nice. Because, again, there's opportunity to do that. Now, I don't know if they're going to be able to summon a behemoth. That's probably one of the disadvantages they'll have, pushing this the way they are, because they're deep in their opponent's territory. So it's not as though they have a lot of options there. However, they can still operate around that radius. And obviously, these turrets aren't, it doesn't look like they're really doing that much. And again, for me, I just think it's more prep on how you approach. So you just try to reduce the most amount of DPS possible. Now, the other thing is, I don't know if I would really focus on removing towers or removing keeps or things like that immediately. I think I would try to set up to fight the PvP battle. And then also, if you want to drain the keep, that's another option as well that you could do. Oh, damn, but they just don't care. They're just going YOLO all the way in. Okay, so here's the thing. What do we talk about? If you're going to attack a bridge, the number one thing you have to do, there's 2 approaches here, and there's only ever going to be 2 approaches. You either set up on the perimeter and you poke, or you go all the way through and then you branch out. Right now, you can either do a banana split and branch, or you can do it where you focus going one way, right? And then you set up like down here. And I'm not saying right here where I'm drawing, but it would be lower than this as an example. Basically, the idea is you're trying to find an open area where you can settle, right? So wherever you see, like, there's not that many turrets, and maybe there's like an opening somewhere. I'd have to look. Yeah, it looks like maybe there's turrets everywhere at the moment. But, that's one way you would do it. You'd branch out. You could clear some turrets because obviously they have enough people to do that. But this is just madness, man. I mean, they are just long hair, don't care, gonna fight it out on the bridge. Just absolutely nuts. But hey, listen, if that's what they're looking for and they don't really care too much about trades or how long they last, from the march, and they just want to be able to kind of fight it out and throw everything they have against everything the other side has, then okay. I'm not against it. Yeah, gosh, just so much. The thing I'll say, though, is that if you're going to run this strategy, you almost would like to see them running, and not to say they're not running, but just in general, right? You would want to almost see them running a lot more AoE artifacts, like just high damage, high AoE artifacts, your Shadow Games. If you're running, what is it? Burst Strike, I think, does multiple AoE. If you're running... why am I forgetting the big infantry sword? What is it, like Final Judgment? I'm always forgetting the name on that one. But like something like that, right, where you're doing kind of big sweeping DPS. Divine Mercy, I'm actually not mad at as well, if people are running those to maybe get some more AoE heal that they have. Part of me also just would have liked to see how they would have played out the poke game and maybe seen if TPD DoRA would have pushed them. Instead of maybe kind of just going, let's like brick squad this all day long and go in, right? Maybe see if you can get some good poking damage and some good favorable trades at distance, and then make the push in. That could have been another way to do it as well. Also, would honestly love to see them like just all run flying. If they just all ran flying units, and they just, that could be really cool too as well. Like we saw some of that being done in SS2-3. We saw some being done in SS2-5. That was with TATMGG, and then with TFS and No War, right? We saw some of that when passes opened, especially the big one, where I think it was TFS and FS, and they sent what it looked like 50, 60 legions of flying units just from one pass to the next one, crossing over the river. That was pretty cool to see. Yeah, and then I think here, I just want to see them spread out a little bit more, right? Where we're kind of arcing ourselves, right? Something like that. Instead of kind of hurting here in this small bubble, it's just, again, you're just taking a lot of AoE damage, just for relatively no reason. Especially if you're trying to last as long as you can and get as many merits as you possibly can and do as much damage on your opponents as you possibly can. But again, TPD and DoRA holding decently here, right? I think if you're looking at it from the TPD DoRA side, they, I believe, accomplished probably the biggest feat, which is not allowing TPD and ROE, not allowing NTS ROE to push all the way through. So if you think about how they held them on the bridge, if not on their side, and didn't allow an opening for them to push through, whether it's here around the spire or even going south or north, just to kind of create a little bit of space for themselves, is well done that they were able to hold that. And just the fact, I want to point something else out. This is honestly really cool to see, generally speaking. Hopefully that's not too loud on the fights. Let me turn that down a little bit. But the reason I say that I'm happy to see the amount of fighting that's happening right now is because it would be so easy for TPD DoRA and the others to just say, okay, well, hey, we lost Final Zone. We don't really need to fight it out anymore. But here, you still have them fighting, right? Like, you still have the alliances and the players that got pushed out of Final Zone still willing to go out there and battle it out. And I'm always going to have respect for that, because I think that is worth us showing respect and giving that to those players, where they could easily say, okay, well, we're out of Final Zone, nothing really to fight for anymore. Let's just go ahead and start developing our accounts further, right? Rehealing, replenishing, etc. And then on top of that, remember, I'm sure they probably saw ROE and NTS pushing. They easily could have just not engaged and just retreated, right? But no, they stayed, and they were willing to fight it out. So that's pretty cool, right? And the fact that this is the second time this has happened. And ROE and NTS don't mind doing the long march for their players to get some PvP. I mean, that's cool as well, just as equally. I mean, it's not like it's a 2-minute walk to get here. You know, it's probably a 15, 20-minute walk, I would gauge, based on where they're going from. I mean, that might be high. Maybe give or take 15 minutes, 12, 15 minutes maybe. I'm sure someone will tell me in the comments how long the walk is. But again, it's not a short trip around the corner. Let's just say that. But man, they're still going. Jeez, time bomb, burst this, man. There's multiple burst strikes coming out. That Divine Mercy on the other side gets some heal off. Another time bomb going down. That terrifying Inferno. Divine Mercy again. Ooh, a little forward Divine Mercy though on that one. Tingling Flames with the burst strike. Ooh, that Shadow Games, negative 11, 10k, negative 7, 7k. Earth and Judgment. That time bomb again. Jeez, oh man, that cross Shadow Games. Ooh, negative 11k, negative 9k. Ooh, that was nice. It looks like another Shadow Games went out, but maybe just missed. That time bomb. Ooh, Acid Breath getting thrown down. There's the green sludge. Take the DOT. Negative 2. Ooh, that might have been time bomb. Another Divine Mercy getting thrown down. I wonder what they're running. Like, let's zoom out real quick for a sec. Ooh, that's some nice damage. So a lot of mage. Got some cav infantry here on the back line. Couple archers, and then on this side mostly mage and some archers, right? Yeah, I guess a couple infantry. Oh wow, so they're kind of getting backdoored here now by TPD, where they're kind of fighting on both sides, and now it's about to be a sandwich. But again, I mean, remember, right? They're doing the long trot, and this really is what they should be doing anyways. Like, this is what you should be seeing TPD do. If they're online and active, you should be trying to sandwich them, slow down the retreat. So that way the front force here with TPD DoRA, right, and now you're seeing them coming out and just, again, doing a lot more damage here. Which, again, right, I mean, you would assume this should be a pretty good cleanup, especially if they have good activity. They still have troops that can fight. They're willing to replenish. But, man, nice fight and engagement, though, from ROE NTS on being willing to make that trek and fight it out. That's pretty awesome. Oh, you know what? I got to get a screenshot. I'm finally starting to remember that I have to get these screenshots for... Got it. We're looking so good right now. Hopefully this doesn't pop up on that screen. Okay, good. It popped up on the other one. Nice. Dude, they are just going at it. Oh my gosh, so much artifact damage being distributed right there. I mean, there's battles everywhere. You got fights down here. You got fights up there. Tornadoes are going. I mean, insane. Gosh, I love it, man. I don't know. I can't get enough. I cannot get enough PvP in Call of Dragons, man. It's absolutely so enjoyable. So enjoyable to watch. And then, you know, what I often talk about is, you know, whenever we get those moments, those glimpses, right, of good tactical play, high IQ play, that's where it just becomes that much more rewarding. Small little group here. Maybe trying to exit out from the west, where, okay, you got a little exit lane there. We'll see what happens. Little group that's, I mean, if I was them, I would just fight it out, man. There ain't no point in retreating. I would just fight it out. You know, fight as long as you can. That's the whole point. You know, if you die, you die. And I think the majority of them get that, right? Based on how long you're seeing them there, still fighting like that. I mean, that's the way to do it. If you're going to make that track, there's no point in retreating your troops. Again, fight it out, last as long as you can, do as much damage as you can. Right? I mean, if you're trying to compete for anything in doing these missions, these expeditions, if you will, you should compete for how long you can last. Right? That's where it really should be. You know, can you last? And that, to me, I think is going to be, that's eventually going to be a metric. That's going to be a scale that we look at later down the road when alliances are pushing deep in their opponent's territory like this. And it's going to be how long were you able to sustain with your 100 legions or with your 60 or 75 or 50 legions, right? Did you last 5 minutes? Did you last 10 minutes, 15, 30 minutes? Are you still there an hour later and your opponents are constantly replenishing where you're getting the most favorable trades, right? Because you're just playing very well and playing smart. That to me is what I would look at when I see this type of a thing happening, is how long did you last? That's how I would weigh, right? How successful and how well done the deep dive was, right, into your opponent's territory. But that looks like it's wrapping up, and pretty much it. It looks like at this point, TPD DoRA, looks like that lasted, I guess about 20 minutes, right, you could say, which isn't bad, I don't think. I mean, you got 20 minutes of PvP action there for them doing a deep dive, and it was their second one. I don't know how long the first one lasted. I'm sure some people will let us know in the comments. But, dude, like, look at how far they had to walk. Right? Let's zoom out. I think that's probably max. Yeah, so let's go back in. We'll wait for this to pop up, and you can see the trek. Right? So they had to go through the gate, right, just to show you. So they had to go through the gate, right? This was their line. They went here. Dun, 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 dun. Like that's what they did to get there. Now, obviously, some of the cities are farther back here, but that's their line they ran to get to where they needed to. I think there might be some action up here, or unless it's over now. Okay. I thought there was some action going down here. It doesn't look like it is anymore, but yeah, ROE, I think they were pushing FTW, and that's their flag, but FTW was over here, and there was a little bit of PvP that was going on. It's over now, but it was happening. It was happening, I promise. Okie dokie. That's it for me. Good stuff. And, ooh, is there something going down over here? Oh, wow, man, they're pushing deep here. Ooh, look at RR, man. They're coming back right now. Or not coming back, but they're doing some pushing here. And then where's DoRA? Is DoRA here in yellow? No, it's STFO. DoRA's in red? No, that's TPD. Okay, I guess they're just taking the flag then? Interesting, but they're not fighting any of these. Oh, I'm tripping. TPD and RR are together. Everyone's like, what are you talking about, boss? I know. But then there's STFO. Okay, so maybe they're just taking the Spire. Like maybe that's really just what it is. Okay. Well, with that in mind, man, fun fight. That was pretty cool to see. And look, if I can just get 15, 20 minutes of action out of a deep dive like that, man, I'm all for it. So appreciate the pings. Awesome fight. And again, if you're here in SS2-6 or you've done these types of deep dive fights, again, what are your thoughts there? Like, do you just gauge it based on how long you can sustain? How long can you last? Do you have other things that you look forward to? Or is it just a matter of, we don't really mind too much kind of what happens. It's just a matter of, hey, can we go out there and fight and have a little bit of fun? With that in mind, that's it for me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Until next time, I'll catch you later.